Hey everybody, this is Grace. And sorry about the noise. I'm in my little car and it's a stick. So, anyway, now I've been doing these videos about this, and I'm finally going to tell the story about the actual second thing that was kind of frightening. Well, the whole thing has been frightening, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing videos, but you know, when you have something that happens that is so not what you would think would happen, even though this has happened to me twice, some of it, you know, crazy pharmacist going all off, you know, yeah, and then her flying monkey also. That I'll add the little add the links. I guess you call them links at the end of the video. Just click on the rectangles and you'll see one of those videos. Yeah, get it out. But anyway, when you see something like that, I wonder how long does it take a person to calm down when it's something that is just so crazy, and it happened over, like I said, it's been years because I've lived here, and this is the kind of behavior. It was the second time, but the kind of behavior overall is, you know, they are perfect and you're all wrong. Period. Let me get to it. Friday, after that bit happened about the guy, or somebody was parked in front of my house, you know, on the other side of the driveway, and then I opened up the door and they zoomed off, and they don't know the neighborhood because zooming off is not a good thing because there's a curve right there. Okay. Now that wasn't weird enough, and that was after that, the district manager of that store, the pharmacy where all this stuff happened, he had called and left a message, you know, since I had called their corporation and made a complaint, a big time complaint. I called while it was happening, and of course, you know, no, they didn't, the corporate office didn't call them and say stop, you know, that's crazy. We don't do that to our customers. Anyway, so after all these things happened, Friday, which was last week, Adam called and said that he wanted to go celebrate, just to make it short, celebrate, and for me to get ready. You know, he was on his way home from work, then we go from there. Okay, so that's what we did. And so we went to this restaurant, and it's not a fancy restaurant. It's like I said in another video, I live in a place where most things are owned by corporations, and things that are owned by corporations around here, it's very, I can't say for every one of them, but overall I would say they're corrupt. Okay. Not really corrupt, but they have no decency. You know, the employees have an attitude that you're a burden, okay, and you're interrupting their time, their precious time, you know, on and on. And it's just not very, you know, there's no such thing as customer service. Like I said, I can't say that for every one of them, but yeah, I've lived here long enough to know pretty much all of them. So this place, though, is an actual mom and pop shop. Okay, what do you call a restaurant? It's a Tex-Mex restaurant, but you know, it's just family owned and operated. Maybe you say, yeah. It's very comfortable, and the waitress and the waiters, the whole staff, they're very friendly. Seriously, it's just like night and day. Like I said, if I drive outside of this area, you know, it's a suburb of Dallas. If I drive outside of it, and more in the country, yeah, it's much friendlier, much friendlier. So in this restaurant is too. It's not a chain. Like I said, it's family owned and operated. Anyway, so that's where we went. We had a choice between two that we know. I'm not too fond of the other one. He likes it, but I don't really care for it. So we went to this one, and I don't know when it was, after we got there, that I noticed this man. I'm trying to get to it, but as we were walking in, Adam said, you know, look at they've changed it all around. They moved stuff around in the restaurant. So as we were walking in, I don't know if I saw that man sitting there or not. And because that's what we were talking about. And once we sat down, we were still talking about how everything has, you know, looks different. And I was looking around, okay? Sometime after we got there, I noticed this man. And I would say he's what I finally thought he reminded me of would be somebody like one of Willie Nelson's crew. Yeah, that might describe the guy in a way. I saw him as he left. He had a ponytail, gray hair ponytail, wearing jeans. I think he had on a vest and some shirt underneath. I don't know. But I actually have a picture of this guy. I'll explain more later. But so, there we were there to celebrate. We were alone. We, weren't in any hurry. And we were sitting in a booth, and Adam was in front of me, across from me in the booth. My back was to the, I guess you say, the parking lot. There was another booth behind me, and some women were sitting there. Anyway, so we're sitting there, and where the waiter came up. Well, first, the waiter came up, asked us what do we want to drink, and where he was, I don't know at what point, I could see this man, okay, the one that looks like Willie Nelson's band or whatever. I could see this man, and he was looking at me, okay, just sitting there by himself looking at me. Whatever, people do that. I don't do that. It could have been that I saw him when I was looking around to see how they changed the restaurant. I don't remember, because it wasn't an issue at the time. Yeah. So, the waiter comes up, brings water, then somebody brings chips and salsa, then, brings your drink, and, on and on. You know how it is at a restaurant. And this process takes a while, to finally get to eat and everything. I would say, overall, maybe this whole situation itself there was about 30 minutes. So I don't know how long we were there. But anyway, after a while, I kept noticing that guy was staring at me. And I'm not talking like, you look at somebody, they're looking at you and they look away. He was not about to look away at all. He was staring at me. He was making it obvious he was staring at me. And then every once in a while he would write something down. Okay, now the reason I know he every time I looked up was because of where the the waiter came by, and the waiter stopped and asked us for something else. Do you need anything more? So it was right in my view when I looked at the waiter. Okay, that's what I was trying to say a while ago. But yeah, and it was unbelievable. So at first I was telling Adam, if the first time I told him, I said, when we were walking in this restaurant, I said, maybe this is somebody I dated, because I was thinking about that when we walked in that restaurant years ago, whenever Adam and I were divorced, and he was married. Adam was married to somebody else. I would date guys off the internet. Yeah, I'll never do that again. But I would never, ever. No, bad. But I would meet him at that place because it was so familiar to me and the people knew me. So I told him, I said, maybe it's somebody I dated way back then. And it just didn't look like anybody. No, not at all. I'm still losing my voice. It'll be like this for a while probably. Anyway. So I don't date guys like that. I guess I could say it's just not my thing. With that look, the Willie Nelson band, yeah, kind of thing. But anyway, so this guy kept staring at me, and then I was kind of, at first I was somewhat joking with Adam about it, but at the same time not, because when people are out eating, they don't want somebody to sit there and stare at them, some stranger. How rude. Who raised you? What planet do you think you live on? But anyway, the next thing I told Adam, I said that, now remember, I'm Texan, I'm going to pronounce it this way. I told Adam, I said, well, maybe he wants his own personal mukbang. I said mukbang. But yeah, I think people pronounce it as mukbang. Yeah, where people are saying, you make a video and you're eating, and so people can watch you while you're, not while, but in the video eating. I said maybe that guy, but I wasn't really laughing about it, seriously, because like I said, who does that? Don't ruin my thing, my outing, me going to a restaurant, because because people will say, well, maybe he was lonely. That seems like what a lot of people say. It seems like that's what a lot of people were told to say, even in something like that's a a situation where somebody shouldn't be doing what they're doing, they say, maybe he was lonely. You should take it as flattery. No, I'm not taking something like that as flattery, and I don't care if he was lonely or not. That's his problem. I know it sounds cold, but yeah, I'm not here for somebody to take advantage of, And that's what it would be. In other words, I'm not an object. And I know some people say, oh, you're being defensive. No. Really think about it. You go to a restaurant and there's somebody staring at you the whole while. That's wrong. Plain wrong. No excuses. Plain wrong. And would you do it? Would you stare at some total stranger and make them uncomfortable? And honestly, I wasn't that uncomfortable because, I've done videos, okay? I've made videos in this. I'm not that uncomfortable. I taught at college and university. People I don't know, they're staring at me and listening to me and all that. Yeah, So I wasn't really uncomfortable. I was just more like, the nerve of this guy. Seriously. But after a little while, it got creepy. Because, at first you say, okay, well, maybe he'll get to just, to look away. Just stop staring at me. And I would turn around and look at him. He wouldn't blink an eye. He just kept staring at me. Like I said, I could have been in that for, we might have been there for an hour, somewhere around there. I don't know. I didn't time it because I wasn't thinking this is going to be something, So honestly now, who would think something like that? It's weird, okay? It's just too weird. So anyway, we had our, I told Adam about it, and then the way I told Adam, I said, was, you know how people say, don't look now, but, and then that other person will quickly turn around and look, So I said, how you hear that? Don't do it. And he didn't. He actually didn't turn around and look. But I told him what that guy was doing. And so then that's when I started telling Adam, maybe it's somebody I dated. And a little bit later, I said that about mukbang and mukbang. And I don't know, B-A-N-G always meant bang to me. But anyway, so, it kept happening, but I didn't tell Adam again after that first time. I just kept, because I really didn't want Adam to turn around and walk over there and say, dude, what are you doing? Really. I didn't want to see that. I don't think Adam would have, though. It kept going on, and like I said, the waiter would come up and different things, different people like that, in different situations, that I would still see this guy staring at me. So, then Adam, the guy, when the waiter would come back around, Adam would see him first. So at that point, Adam asked for the check. And when he did, when the waiter brought the check back, that guy quickly got his check. And, I'm talking like he was nervous. He wanted to get out of there fast. Okay, and quickly, went up there. He even went up to pay for it. Okay, they take the check from the table. You just put your credit card there, and they pick it up as they pass by. That guy wanted to hurry up and get out the door. This was all kind of, you're like, okay, whatever. That's how I pretty much am. But I did notice that they seemed like kind of friendly with this guy. They pat him on the back, hug, not hug, but shake their hand, that kind of thing, as he was leaving. Well, when he left, he had to walk past me on the other side of the wall, and then the wall had a window, big, huge, plate window, and I could see right through it, and that's when I saw what this guy really looked like, with the ponytail and everything. I didn't see the ponytail before, but ponytail, beard, mustache, gray hair pulled back in him, like I said, the ponytail and all that. That's when I could see that. After that guy left, that's when I think I told Adam that, once again, I told him that the whole while that we were sitting there, the guy was staring at me. Okay, like I said, he would stare at me, and then he'd write something down on a piece of paper, like a pad or something, a notepad. And I don't know, I couldn't really see it from there. Now, about the picture, when this was going on, like I said, I didn't tell Adam again, for the rest of the time we were there. What I did was I told Adam, I said, let's take a picture. And Adam's sitting across from me, while a guy is sitting behind him on, there's a big table in between, a couple of big tables for, a family. Then the other set of booths are on the other side of that, and then going north, up. And that guy was there, where if I took a picture of Adam, I could take a picture of this guy, and which I did twice, to the right of the picture, okay? Right of the camera, the right of Adam. So that's what I did. First one, I didn't get the guy good enough, so I just kind of moved the camera over a little bit and got the picture of the guy. It was creepy. It was that creepy enough for me to do something like that. And believe me, I've heard enough about people being paranoid, suspicious, all this kind of thing. So I try not to be. I try not to think something is weird's going on. But when something is weird going on, it's kind of like, what, am I going to put myself in denial? Am I going to suppress that thought? Am I going to just totally ignore it and not, be careful or extra careful? Yeah, it's a balance, But it was weird. I mean, when somebody is just staring at you and not looking off, weird. So we were paying at that time. We were getting ready to pay, and then we did, and we left. So it wouldn't have been long after that guy left. It was still raining. Okay, it was dark by then. And so I told Adam, I said, let's walk down to the store. And there was another restaurant, and I think 2 little shops, and then the store. I said, let's walk through, down there to that store, walk around a little bit. It's something good to do. So we went, looking in the store and everything like that. We came back, it was still raining, and for whatever reason, I still don't know, but my right leg, the muscle in it, has been hurting lately. And I do notice it's kind of connected to that. If I eat bananas, it's okay. So I don't know what the connection is. But it probably is because one time Marmaduke, I was walking him a few years ago, and I was trying to step over the curb to get to the mailbox. Well, Marmaduke, the dog, of course, he saw a squirrel on the other side. I had him on a leash. He ran that way. My leg jumped. My leg kind of popped. How do you say it even? Kind of popped off the curb and popped down, and it twisted it. It also twisted my arm. Well, my arm took a long time to heal. Yeah. But I think that's what's happened to my calf muscle on my left leg. So anyway, we were walking, and then coming out of there, and that started hurting me. It was raining. We didn't have our umbrellas, so I just, Adam just went ahead to go get it in the SUV, and I was limping, and I don't think he even knew. He didn't even bother to look back. Dude, come on. I'm a big girl. I don't need him to. Really, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's kind of old-fashioned anyway. So I finally got to the car, and all this while I had that feeling, that guy was rushing out of that door off fast once we got our ticket, our check, and everything. But, I'm that type, I really try to say, no, this isn't anything, that would be paranoid for me to think that some stranger, even though he's staring at me like, unbelievable, that he's up to no good. Now, that would be kind of paranoid. Yeah, I'd say it would be. But why was he staring at me? So anyway, this is the first part of it, because right after that, something else happened. And this video is probably getting long, and I think my camera's going to get hot. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this part up. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, click the circle icon. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.